All right, well, we are back in the kitchen because someone that has already done the shopping is our good friend, Executive Chef Tony Mammarella of Food City, of course. You've been through the aisle, you checked it out, and brought it back here to the studio.
I have. Love to talk about it a little bit today. You know, we have so many more options than just our meal deal. But our meal deal is a great option. You saw from the stores, they're walking through the aisles and kind of going through it, and it really breaks it down for you in the meat departments. As you can see in front of us, you know, a lot of the stores actually have it broken down to where it says, you know, meal deal item 1, meal deal item 2, and it kind of just walks you through the process of picking it all out, and it really helps you make sure you know what you're getting and you know the value behind it and where you're going.
And of course, your biggest decision is what cut of meat you would like.
It really is, and I struggle every time between the ribeyes and the New York strips. I believe you're a filet fan.
I do. I love the fillets. But it's all in really how you like to prepare it. I feel like each one has a certain method.
It really does. And I mean, you can prepare them similar, you know, sear and crisp crust on the outside is ultimately what you want on any of those steaks. Naturally, if you're doing well done, I'd stay away from the fillets because they don't really have any fat in them. They get a little bit chewy and tough. Ribeyes, if you're going well done, are probably the best and my favorite item for that. But anything is top quality and really is a great steak.
And which one did you prepare here?
So this is actually the New York strip down here in the front. Hard sear, literally very little, very simple. Salt, pepper, and garlic. Dropped it in the pan with like a half a drop in oil and just forgot about it.
Forgot about it.
It went about 5 or 6 minutes. And realistically, when you're cooking steaks, especially if you're searing them in the house, when they release from the pan, when they stop sticking, they're ready to be flipped. So if you touch it and you have to kind of work at it to get it to move around the pan, just let it go a little bit longer.
It's not ready.
It's not ready.
It's telling you.
Yeah,
it's helping you with the process.
It'll absolutely tell you when it's ready.
Okay, and then you do the flip.
When you flip it over, you can do one of two things. You can either just flip it and let it sit in the pan for a few minutes, depending on how done you like it. A lot of the true higher end steakhouses will take that pan, as long as you don't have any rubber handles and it's oven safe. They'll throw a little bit of butter on top of it and throw it right in the oven for a few minutes. 350 degrees, 3 or 4 minutes, and it'll fully cook it in, lock all those juices in it, and makes a fantastic flavor.
Lovely. And if you're doing fillets, some of the tips that you have to help get that meat just where you like it.
With fillets, everybody likes a really thick, big fillet, but they take a little longer to cook.
Okay.
So with fillets, you can start at really high heat and sear them and then lower the temperature down a little bit, and it'll help the heat on them without getting them too done on the outside. It's just a slower process. Same thing, if you sear them hard on one side, flip them over and then throw them in the oven, it'll help penetrate the heat from the sides and it'll make it a little bit tender and a little bit more easier to eat.
Okay, and when you're seasoning these cuts of meat, what's your go-to?
Salt, pepper, and garlic is all I use, unless there's some unique flavor or seasoning that I find in the stores I'm walking around. I tend to window shop a lot. I'll just happen to be browsing down an aisle and it's like, hey, I've never seen that before, let's try it. And we get some unique flavors like that, but traditionally when it comes to steak, salt, pepper, garlic, really the best way you can do it because it really lets the flavor of the steak come out.
And when you're dealing with certified Angus beef, you want that flavor that you've got.
We're not trying to hide the flavor of beef at all. We really want that flavor to come through.
And something like that is such a perfect centerpiece for your Valentine's table.
It really is, and it's very simple. It's very inexpensive. Dinner for 2 for $30 is kind of unheard of. If you can find a restaurant that does that, let me know because I want to go.
Yeah, probably not going to happen.
Especially not tonight.
And yes, exactly. Other specialty menus.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing something like that, like you said, it's pretty basic with the sides that you have as well.
It really is. You know, you have your choice between the jalapeno poppers and the asparagus. Bacon wrapped asparagus is fantastic. You don't have to do a whole lot to it. Same with the jalapeno poppers. I always buy an extra one. I get the jalapeno poppers as kind of an appetizer while we're cooking. Both of them bake. You know, the air fryer craze is all high and mighty at the moment, and both of these are really simple. You throw them in the air fryer at 400 degrees for 15 minutes and they're crispy. They come out really well. The bacon actually cooks fully and it's very good. It eats very well.
Okay, and we see the appetizers here, and tell me a little bit about the 2 different ones that you can choose from.
So you can choose from the bacon wrapped jalapenos. They're cream cheese and cheddar filled, and they come pre-ready. So all you do is literally take them out of the package, set them on a baking tray, and either put them in the oven or the air fryer.
Okay.
So there's no work to it. And then the other is our bacon wrapped asparagus, and it's got a little bit of the butter cream cheese in the center of it and then bacon wrapped around it. Same thing, all you have to do is put it in the oven.
And I like how you said you like to go for both.
I do.
A little bit of extra.
I do. I always get a little bit extra.
And that bacon wrapped asparagus is delicious.
It really is, and it's just no effort when you get it home. You can literally just put it in a tray, throw it in the oven. A few minutes later, you throw your steak on, and you can have dinner pretty quickly and pretty effortlessly.
And when you're doing the deal, you get all of the things that you see, so you pretty much have the whole menu ready to go.
You do. You pick your choice of steak, you pick your choice of sides, you get the potatoes with it as well, and then we even have bread to go with it. So,
which is nice. Those baguettes are a wonderful compliment.
they are. I mean, it's a little bit big, but I love to take mine, and there's nothing wrong with splitting it up over breakfast the next morning or whatever else you're going to eat that day.
That sounds wonderful. All right, well, some great tips, some great information. We've got more from the executive chef coming up here in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. But once again, here is their Valentine deal. It's running through the weekend, so if you have plans tonight, you could still take advantage and do this tomorrow night. It is that meal combo for $29.99. That is a sweetheart of a deal.